and said Lemon Grove wants these tiny homes. I was at the supervisors meeting, I heard it. I also know that you have two others that also contacted STEP and told us Lemon Grove wanted it. I also know that you sat here, Mayor, and told us that you're supposed to sit here and judge things unbiasedly by the law. So your opinion shouldn't come into play, but yet you have a supervisor all over social media, ironically, not LeBaron, who put her opinions all over social media about what she feels about the tiny homes and that she says that Lemon Grove should have them. So where do the people come into this? Where do you care about your neighbors? Because your tiny homes are going to affect Spring Valley. They're going to affect La Mesa. Do you think about your neighbors? You just told us about how you're everybody's neighbor here. But nobody's thinking about neighbors. Everybody's thinking about their next elected position. That's the truth. I watched a councilwoman, who supposedly was your previous mayor, act like a kindergartner today. Every time something didn't go her way, she got up and walked away. It's ridiculous. This behavior is ridiculous, and you should all walk out of shame.
Thank you so very much. Next we have Larry, followed by Matthew Soler.
My name is Larry Bonomo.
If you can please pick up the mic so we can hear you. Thank you so much.
My name is Larry Bonomo, and I live in Lemon Grove.
And speak directly into the mic. Just put it close to your mouth and speak. Thank you.
How's that?
Yes, and please reset the clock so that he gets his full 3 minutes. Thank you.
I live in Lemon Grove, and I'm a property owner, and I've lived there since 1970. I have a business directly across the street from the proposed site. I've owned the property and I've ran a business there since 1975. For many years, myself and the community had a problem with the homeless. They've broken into our homes, cars, leaving trash, shopping carts, fighting with each other in the street, shooting off guns, going to the bathroom on our property. These people need help, not just a place to sleep. They need mental help. But they won't accept it because help comes with rules and conditions. This site will bring more homeless to our community. Right now, we have Volunteers of America. This facility is adjacent to the rear of my property. There, they have a lot of problems, these people do. They run probably 50 or 60 people there. These people are out in the community during the daytime. Now you want to bring in these tiny homes with another 70 homes, which is going to be another 2 people per home, which is another 140 people. These people are going to be roaming the streets during the daytime, casing out the houses, the cars, and everything else. Before the construction of the freeway, the city of Lemon Grove said it was too dangerous to put an off and on ramp there because of the kids walking to and from school. Now you want to put a homeless camp in the same spot. This camp will bring in more undesirable, who most likely will be hanging around all day and night. We don't need them. The problem is the city of Lemon Grove wants to get the credit and the money for putting in this homeless camp, while our neighborhood gets the problem, just like it did with the off and on ramp they took away from us. But they took the money and left us with no access to the freeway. If the city of Lemon Grove cares about the homeless, they have a building in Lemon Grove next to the trolley that's been vacant for many years. That building could house many people there. Also, there's a large lot on Federal Boulevard across from Edco that has been vacant for years. I believe you want to help just as long as it is out of sight and you get the money and leave someone else with the problem. We don't want it in our neighborhood. We already have enough problems. Nobody takes care of those problems except the community ourselves. True. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you so very much. Next we have Matthew, followed by Taylor. Matthew Solar. I will go ahead and move on to Taylor Farson, followed by Jim Ellis.
I think it's appropriate to say good morning now. And it's my 3 minutes, so if the people behind me want to say anything during my time, I give them full permission to do so on my time. I request that the sleeping cabins, the sleeping cabins be put on the agenda. These are not homeless families that you are trying to put there. I don't think any family wants their children there, as you've stated before that it's going to be families. We need to help solve that problem, not contribute to it. See what is working in other states, other areas, like the MAT program, which is medically assisted treatment that combines medications and therapy to treat drug and alcohol addiction. Laws need to be enforced. Criminals in prison, once arrested, is when the meds are given that help with their addiction. This is where we need to head, not sleeping boxes that allow them to do the same things. A tough, compassionate solution that saves lives. You aren't going to be able to prevent them from the same old behavior, and I doubt you will find good enough security with no turnover. Let's be the change. Let's be the example that other cities look to, because what we have done here has worked. I don't understand your end game except approving this to help careers in election. I'm going to tell you right now, none of you get elected because no one in this room is voting for you. That's very clear. So the only way you're going to be sitting in those seats again is because we have a rigged election. Now, a few days last week, my husband was washing dishes so kindly after cooking dinner, and a man walked through our backyard, through our side yard, and came to our front door and knocked on it. My husband ran to the door, waited a minute to see if he was going to try to get into our house, which luckily he didn't. So he opened the door as the man walked away, and the man said, "Oh, I just want to let you know I walked through the canyon and in through your yard." Now our story is that this gentleman wasn't threatening, though he seemed a little off and a little odd, shaking, sweating, no shirt on, and I have 2 very small children. But there are people who have been in this room, who live in Lemon Grove, that don't have that same story, who gets their stuff broken into, their stuff stolen. Neighbors. This is a very neighborly council group we have in front of us. And I, too, am completely appalled because the people that, we didn't elect you in here, I guess, but you haven't said anything that goes along with any of us. Nothing. You voted completely in the opposite way that your people want you to vote.
Every single time.
It's disgusting.
Next, we have Jim Ellis. And he is not in the room. Followed by Ty Ross.
What? What'd you say?
Craig, are you in the room? Yeah. Craig, followed by Steve. Herb. Craig.
First off, I'd like to ask if we agendize this matter for tonight's meeting. Ms. Mayor, we were told that we had 100 homes in the immediate area surveyed, and they voted.
I'm so sorry, can you bring the mic up to date? Thank you.
We were told that we had 100 homes in the immediate area surveyed, and they voted yes. Well, I believe that's not true. And we would like to see the evidence of that survey, because I personally walked door to door in that area and acquired 430 signatures saying they did not want those tiny homes in our area. I live less than a quarter mile from there. I surveyed those homes. I want to say, Mayor, you're going to hear what the community has to say, because my next petition is your recall petition. How many citizens do you think will sign that petition in a 2-week period? I got 430 in a 72-hour period. We, the members of this community, have come together to voice our concerns and make it clear that we do not support the establishment of sleeping cabins on Troy Street. The decision to move forward with such a project without consulting the residents who will be directly impacted is unacceptable. We elected you as our community leaders to represent our best interests and to listen to our voices. As I stated, the petition I hold in my hands was acquired in a 72-hour period. Over 400 citizens who live in the close proximity of the proposed project signed that petition. It is a resounding no to the sleeping cabins on Troy Street. We urge you to listen to the voices of your constituents and consider the impact of this project on our community. We ask you to work with us to find a solution that is truly in the best interest of all involved. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I know it's super late, and I want to make sure that we get through everybody, so if you could just keep the noise down so that we can make it seamless, that would be great. Steve Erb, followed by Robert Erb. Are you Steve Erb? Oh, no, I'm asking for Steve Erb, followed by Robert Erb.
Oh, they left.
Okay, thank you so much, providing clarity. Then there's Rosa Hatcher. She left, okay. Kathy Sparcone. Followed by Paul Brethard.
Good morning. I'm very sorry this meeting has gone on so long. My name is Kathy Spacone, and I've been a property owner in Lemon Grove since 1980. And I am appalled that the citizens of Lemon Grove were not consulted regarding putting sleeping cabins in close proximity to schools and other homes and businesses without any services to support them. I understand that they're talking about having wraparound services, but I don't see how it's possible. The homeless situation in Lemon Grove is awful. Driving from my home on Palm Street to Spring Street to get on the freeway is like driving through a third world country along Broadway with the homeless on one side and expensive new homes on the other side. I just can't even believe it. And I understand that that piece of property is owned by the state of California, according to what I've heard from the research that I've done. And I understand that this Board of Supervisors are the ones that are proposing this project. But I don't understand why the citizens of Lemon Grove were not consulted, and I'm outraged by that. And I'm outraged by the lack of concern when I call and speak to anybody at City Council, City Hall, trying to get information and being told information that is inaccurate. And then I find out when I call the supervisor's office that this is a done deal, they're building these projects, it doesn't matter what we think or say. And I'm just disgusted by the lack of concern about the citizens that live in this community. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Next we have Paul Brethard, followed by Debbie Vernerich, and I apologize in advance if I mispronounced your name.
No worries. in my life, the last thing. My name is Paul Reed. I'm a Lemon Grove homeowner. I am a retired correctional officer, 30 years in Department of Corrections. I would like to request that we propose Troy Street location for homeless cabins to be on the agenda. First and foremost, this is not for the city of Lemon Grove nor its citizens to deal with this. This will not fix the current issues with the homeless that exist in our city now. This will just add to this existing problem. We do not have the resources for law enforcement as it is now. Adding one more sheriff as was proposed would not help make a difference at all. Now using the Chula Vista location as a comparison to the proposed Troy Street location is not an accurate depiction. One being an industrial location and ours residential. This could also negatively impact the value of our properties. The real issue that needs to be addressed is the mentally ill and the drug addicts that make up most of the homeless. This is something the county and the state have neglected for years and causing us to be in the situation we are in. There is no data to support these cabin sites work or how it could affect the area surrounding the sites. Security on these sites will have to call law enforcement to handle any situation. The cabins that are no different than a prison cell, not helping the people become self-sufficient. Heck, a prison cell has a bathroom. These don't. So they're a little better. Bottom line, this area will not work, and the city should not have to deal with this or be entertaining this. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Next we have Debbie Warnerly, followed by Crystal Hall. Debbie here? Is Crystal here? Next we have Rachel X, followed by Kim King. Rachel, are you here? Kim King, followed by Jacob Keys.
Here we are again. Very disappointed in all of you, except for one person.
Microphone.
If you could speak now louder so that everyone can hear you, thank
I'm
you.
very disappointed in all of you, except for one person who's actually listening to us in the community. Once again, 2 people on this, actually 3 people on this board said that they are for the city of Lemon Grove. They said that they are talking to the people of Lemon Grove. They are not. I will do everything in my power to make sure you are not reelected. You lose your seat, and you will never be elected as an office. Yeah, you can look down and play on your phone, or call it whatever you want to do. You're very disrespectful. Okay, take notes. You will not be mayor. I will make sure that you're not mayor. None of you guys are listening to us. None of you at all. You all have your own agenda. You all are making money somehow, somewhere. These homes are $20,000 and they want $150,000 to install them. Somebody's pocketing the money. You guys are all chummy with the people for Raising Cane's and the car wash. And now you have your little buddy in the back, Jerry Jones, doing the same thing. He's also running for mayor. We'll make sure he's not gonna get it either. You guys should all just hang up your hats and go away. They're disgusting.
Thank you so very much. Next we have Jacob Keys, followed by Amanda Keys.
Alicia.
Jacob Keys. Jacob Keys, followed by Amanda Keys. Sandus Asmar, okay.
She submitted a speaker card on your behalf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have it.
$35 car wash you passed.
Thank you so very much.
Is that how
Next we
much?
have Tina Huff.
35?
Is that what it costs?
Shut up. No way.
$35 for a car wash.
Oh my God, you guys are serious.
So just asked me to relay this message. You're supposed to represent our community, but outside you stated that it will happen no matter what. That shows that you don't care about our concerns, and you should be ashamed of yourself for passing it to the county behind our backs. And we'd like to agendize this. Now, it's gonna be 80 feet from my front yard. On the opposite corner from where you're planning on building this, we had a sober living pathway house. They know how to get around the drug test. They know what doesn't show up. My house was broken into. They did $3,000 worth of damage getting into it. I didn't want to use my homeowner's insurance because everybody knows in California, you get homeowner's insurance and they're gonna cancel you. So I got hit with that. Then I had a guy try to come in while I was there. And I pulled out my baseball bat and left. The next time a guy tried to come in, I pulled out my baseball bat and he wasn't with it. And he kept insisting on coming in because he was bleeding. I locked the door behind me and I didn't want him coming through my gate because if he came through my gate, I was gonna be on my own. I grabbed my .38 and I had it behind my back and I told him to leave. He reached behind his back and I pulled. Is this the way I'm supposed to live? Again? I told the police after, no, it was the next time when the guy was on my roof tearing off my shingles. Right? He was tearing off my shingles and I called the police. They sent a helicopter and 4 sheriffs with beanbag guns. How much did that cost? A helicopter wasn't cheap. But they told me they had 13 days to shut down that facility where these people were coming from. They shut it down and our problems went away. Thank you.
Next we have Bear. Followed by Alejandra. And after Alejandra is Sheila.
Hi, my name is Alejandra Morris, and I live here since 2006. I purchased a home here in 2006. I have 3 small children. I go to work in the morning, and I'm not at peace at work, thinking that they're walking home. They have to walk home too. I mean, they have to walk to school, and I'm not comfortable at work thinking that. Right now, I'm not comfortable, let alone if we get a tiny homes where the homeless are gonna live. It's not right for our children. Think about our kids. Lemon Grove has a lot of kids that walk to school and back to school because parents are at work, and it's not fair for them. When you show up as a mayor at their promotion, you let them know that you voted for them, for their community, because you were in my son's promotion. And you make us think, oh, she's here supporting our kids. This is not a way to support our children. It's not. They need to be safe walking to school. They deserve that. We pay taxes. We all do. Think about our kids.
Thank you so very much. Next we have Sheila.
I'm sorry, you said Sheila?
Yes. Sheila, followed by Maria.
Hello again, everyone, or good morning is what everyone is saying. I do want to thank the sheriff and the fire marshal for staying here. I understand you guys are not getting paid extra for being here. And that sucks. And then you're gonna bring in more problems to the community. My mom is Tina Cup. She's the one that had people break into her house and then come to her house again and try to do a home invasion, basically. She was home. Luckily, none of our animals were hearing those. Luckily, she wasn't hearing those. But, unfortunately, a lot of homeless people are mentally ill and they do not get the help they need. These little tin cans aren't the answer. There's no services for these people. Heck, the kids have to probably walk in the street to get to school. There's no sidewalks right there. It's the armpit of Lemon Grove. It's out of sight, out of mind for Lemon Grove. Spring Valley voted this out, and yet you found a way to push it back into Spring Valley. The mental health needs to come first. When we were next door in the auditorium, the community people who help the homeless were against this. They themselves said, this is not a way to help them. I don't know why the people who are professionals at this, or maybe not even professionals, they're people that pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, are being overlooked in making these decisions and helping more within the community. I can't recall the lady that I spoke to in the parking lot, but she was amazing. And she brought heart to helping the homeless. But it was also tough love. She didn't put up with shit, for lack of a better term. And unfortunately, if you put people in these little tin cans, it's almost like farewell to Manzanar. Like you're just putting people out of sight, out of mind, and that is not the way to do this. These people need real mental and medical help. A tin can is not the answer. Please help the people that want to be helped. The people that do not want to be helped, you're not going to be able to help them until they decide they want to be helped. I have a coworker that brings clothes and necessities to someone who's homeless, but they refuse to be part of the system. Tin cans aren't the answer. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Next we have Maria.
Fausto Chavez.
Yes. And please state your full name on the record, followed by Rosie.
Hello, good morning. My name is Maria Frausto Chavez. I'm a property owner. I was born and raised in Lemon Grove. And I'm really concerned how all of you guys are functioning. It's very dysfunctional and it's embarrassing. My daughter, who's 12 years old, and her friends probably behave better than what I've seen in these council meetings. Not tonight, every time I come. It's like you guys, we're working for you. It's like you guys put our agenda, the things that we want to speak about, we want to be heard about, because you say you want to hear us, right? You put it towards the end. Really? Almost 2 o'clock in the morning the next day? You can see on my submittal paper, I put August 6th and 7th, because I was here with you all. You guys get paid, I don't. I'm a stakeholder. I've got skin in the game. I want this sleeping cabins put on the agenda. I am formally requesting for you to put it on the agenda, because we need to talk about it, we need to vote on it, we need to be heard on it. And if you don't put it on the agenda, we will not be heard on it. So I'm formally requesting you to put it on the agenda. I've heard other people request that as well. This homeless issue is not a homeless issue. Let's call it what it is. It's a drug and alcohol and mental illness crisis, okay? And my house, my mom's house, was broken in twice by homeless people. They steal stuff, they destroy stuff, and this is a gated home in a cul-de-sac. When we called the sheriffs, you know what they said? We can't put a report. They stole a couple things. So you know what we did? We found that homeless and asked for our stuff back. It's expensive stuff. times are tough. I'm a single mom. I'm raising my daughter and, my husband passed. So I don't think it's right that you don't have this on the agenda. I'd like to formally request that you have it on the agenda so this is spoken about and we have clear understanding of how this happened and how we got to this. Because Snow, you just brought it upon yourself to elect Lemon Grove. Put it in La Mesa, put it in La Jolla, put it in Coronado. Why don't they put it there? Because their council members listen to them. Their council members hear. And quite frankly, you guys know the demographics here are lower class people, not lower class, ethnic people, Latinos, people who have to work blue collar, 2 jobs, sometimes 3. I see the kids walking to this school here every morning, and the homeless people are defecating, having sex, men with men. Come on, you don't want that for your kids who have to walk to school by themselves. You wouldn't want to see that. Why should they? Let's do better for our
Thank you
kids.
so very much.
Forget about
Next
the
we
homeless,
have
forget about the
Rosie,
drug addicts,
followed
the
by-
kids, the future.
We have Rosie, followed by Joe.
Madam Mayor, point of order if I could.
Please let the speaker speak. This is their public comment portion of the meeting. It's their turn to speak.
I was gonna ask if I have any support from my council colleagues to agendize this matter because there have been
This
several.
is public comment. Can you please let them speak?
We want
Okay.
Leanna to speak for us sometimes.
Are we done?
Put it on the
Are we
agenda and
done?
go home. Let
Are
her
we
speak.
done? Okay, then we're done. Because if that's the case, then
I'd like
this
to speak.
meeting is adjourned. So
I'd
I'm
like
asking
to
you to pay
Let
this
her
lady
speak.
in the front some respect.
Mayor, I'm asking, I'd like to speak.
I would like for you to speak, but we need to have everyone pay you respect. So I'm gonna turn it over to you. Please listen to what she has to say. Thank you.
Thank you. So if I may, if I'm allowed to give, am I allowed to give at least 30 seconds to finish what you wanted to say or no?
No, this is
Then
the
let me
public
proceed.
time.
Then I'd like to proceed, please. I want to begin with you, Mayor. In the beginning, when the first 10 comments were made, you kept on mentioning that you were gonna forward the comments referring to this agenda over to the county because it's out of their hands, pretty much. Once again, you're washing your hands free. Once again, you're turning it over and there's no transparency, and once again, you already made this decision without even giving us a choice, so again, I also ask that this formally be put on the agenda. Give us all more time to think about it. Us people have a say-so as well. You keep on saying it, let me speak, okay? Now, on July 23rd, I did attend a committee meeting in Spring Valley where one of the agenda items was for them to discuss whether or not Spring Valley was going to write another letter to the government to ask for the money back for the sleeping cabins that are gonna be on Troy. Now, that room is full of both Spring Valley residents and Lemon Grove residents. There was only but one person that was for the project. Everyone else, and it was full, everyone else, including Spring Valley, are not for the project. And one gentleman made a very good comment that I will reiterate here. He said that the resources are out there. We know that, the resources are out there. Lemon Grove has a homeless outreach program that, if I'm not mistaken, that we can call them and they go out and offer services to the homeless. Is that working? Obviously not. Do we have any summaries on that? We don't. So the resources are out there. The homeless, they don't want it. What is insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again when you know it's not going to work. That's what you are doing right now with building those cabins. A liquor store, right next to there. Homes that are being built, nice homes that are under they're proposing for veteran loans. You think someone who's a veteran, who worked for the country, who works here, who's probably gonna pay about $800,000, if not more, wants these cabins next to them? Why don't we put them in Miller's Ranch? Would you like that? Put them in Miller's Ranch. And to go back to, yes, our house has been broken in twice. Twice. And we've had to go back and find our property. What's worse is that we were driving back in my car and my son pointed out on the street his own bat. His own bat. And
Thank
we
you so
picked it
very
up.
much. Next we
If
have,
that was your kids, you wouldn't like it.
our last speaker, regarding this particular portion of the meeting is Joe.
Morning, everybody. Morning. Yeah, so I started my speech, but I was cut off by the mayor because I met my time up. But I noticed when the people that were pushing their projects on, they were allowed to go past the time. I'm not gonna go through what I started and spoke to earlier, but I would like to start off with saying I want to see this on the agenda. And also, I would like to seek Lemon Grove to get an injunction to stop this project from going any further. We need to do that. And then I'll continue about where I left off, when you stopped me the first time. Sleeping containers are not the answer to have, and they're a continued failure throughout the state. There's nothing to help rehabilitate or addressing the true underlying issues that drove many of these homeless people into their current situation. These sleeping encampments, which they are, will endanger the safety and security of the surrounding neighborhoods and schools and increase local crime. If elected politicians are going to continue to push these type projects, whether it's for lucrative contracts for their associates and friends, political points, etc., they should select a location that is away from residential neighborhoods and schools, and that actually provide medical or counseling support for the people that require the help. The $11 million and the cost to maintain these encampments would be better used for inpatient facilities that have 3 to 6 month programs to address the root causes on why they are homeless, along with a plan to better themselves and become a productive member of society. Due to the differences, issues like mental illness, drug and alcohol addiction, and many of the homeless will not voluntarily enter a program. We need to go back to the tough love process in order to get these people into treatment programs for help they desperately need. In the last 3 years, our state has invested over $25 billion taxpayer dollars to address the homeless situation with nothing to show for it. And with the exception of some personal offshore accounts, they cannot account for the money. So I request that you go back and whoever called up the council up there and we're seeing you representing us as saying we want these encampments over here on a property next to our society, or up next to our community. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I will say this, thank you so much for sharing your comments, and we really appreciate you hanging in there and expressing your thoughts and ideas, as it relates to, sleeping cabins. And I just know, that staff, will be passing them along, to the County of San Diego. And, we just really appreciate you sharing with us tonight.
Are you gonna put it on the agenda? Are you gonna put it on the agenda? Cause we had more than like 7 or 8 people ask, Mayor.
Is this meeting over? Is this meeting over?
I don't know, but.
Because if you cannot listen, then this meeting is over.
Wow.
Again.
Yeah, wow.
I thought you
This
wanted to
meeting is
listen.
over.
I thought you wanted to listen to us.
Yeah, exactly.
This is exactly,
And we did.
this is the problem.
So you're saying you're gonna take this petition to the county?
The meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.
No, it's not. It is not adjourned. You don't need to do that.
Not after what you did to us.
You fucking work for us.
It is wrong, Rockwell, what you're doing. Listen to them.
Madam Mayor, Snow and I would like to put this on the agenda. She's about to say so herself.
It's on the agenda.
Madam Mayor.
Put it on the agenda. No, they waited all night, Jennifer.
Wow.
They waited all night. You waited till tonight. You look at the mayor. and
We've
you
waited
get-
months for even what the program is. Yeah, right?
You guys are looking for lawsuits, you're gonna get one now.
You've got so many lawsuits.
And now you get on there, you know.
Yeah.
Jennifer's too afraid to tell her. You two stay seated. No, Snow, you stay seated. Don't leave. Don't leave. And the city manager should sit down too. Do not leave. Rockwell does this all the time. Rockwell does this all the time. And stay seated. Don't leave. You aggravated us. We stayed till 1 in the morning. Our poor sheriffs, our poor fire department that we support, that we give decent salaries to stay all night, and they're embarrassed at you.
You're ruining the city single-handedly. Single-handedly ruining Lemon Grove.
Goodbye, Mayor. Just walk out. Just walk out. That's what we do. Just walk out.
You knew what he needed to be on the agenda. Yeah, you knew
You changed the agenda for your benefit.
You're the mayor.
Can you gaslight us? Can you
Put it on the agenda.
Please.
Yeah.
Go back.
It's all
and
right.
rescind the vote.
I gotta work
Reopen the
tomorrow.
meeting, which you can do in a matter of 5 seconds. There's a council majority that wants to agendize this.
Howard, chicken shit! Go eat your chicken!
Don't call the sheriff! That's why you can't call the sheriff. We waited 6 hours for public comments. Listen to that, that's how it's said.
Damn.